this one question that came up was, why do women struggle with feelings around anxiety and depression during pregnancy? So let's talk about that, because you're saying that's really where it starts for women, is during pregnancy. So is it hormones or is it something else?
It's actually very, very little to do with hormones. That's one of the big myths, I think, is, and a reason why a lot of women don't get help is because they think, oh, it's just my hormones. I've got the blues in pregnancy. I've got some worry about the delivery, and this is all normal. So I think a lot of women don't realize that it's not normal. Some ambivalence is okay. We all experience that. But I think women don't always recognize the symptoms that they have. It's not generally hormonal. It's very, very little to do with hormones. Even postpartum depression has very little to do with hormones. There are really 4 big things that contribute to prenatal depression, anxiety, and postpartum. They're the same things. But the biggest one is really if a woman has struggled before at any time in her life with anxiety, depression, trouble coping with stress, there's no shame in that. And it's important that women know that that's something that could lead to them having greater vulnerability to stress, depression, anxiety in pregnancy and postpartum. Knowing that means that women can, like having high blood sugar and diabetes, just manage it. We can talk more about that. But that's one of the big things, having depression or anxiety or some trouble coping with stress or having some life stress going into the pregnancy. So that's the first one. The second thing is really if somebody's not having social support or having partner conflict. So people that think, women that think that our marriage is going to get better or my partner relationship is going to get better if I get pregnant, it's not true. It's dangerous because women need that as a preventive factor. The other piece is if women have had a lot of stress. We talked about that a little bit, but high stress, having depression or anxiety before, not having enough social support or a good partner relationship are really key. And when I say not having social support, that's not about the number of friends that women have. It's about the quality of relationships and how much investment we're making in connecting. We're busy. Sometimes, we're talking sometimes about women who have other children, and it's just hard to get time with friends, isn't it? But that can be a real challenge. Personality. So let me talk about that. There are 2 kinds of personality types that it doesn't mean a woman is going to get depression or anxiety. It just means she's more vulnerable. And the first one, and I think the one that is not talked about at all, is perfectionism and guilt. So, there are about 30% of women that are in that category where they're high driving. Now, not just high goals or high expectations, it's unrealistic goals and expectations and feeling like a failure when goals are not met. I think what's particularly striking, and I don't see it talked about a lot in pregnancy, and yet it's the thing that continues years beyond after the delivery, is struggling with guilt and about various things. I'm not the mother I should be. I had anxiety during pregnancy, so I've set my child up for trouble. I haven't given my child the best start in life. All kinds of things that we beat ourselves up about. But that's a personality type that leans in that direction. The second personality type it's called neuroticism, which is a terrible name. But really what it means is just someone that is a bit more reactive emotionally to situations. If you find yourself having stress in your life and it takes more for you to calm that stress down, or you become more worried about things that other people might be less worried about. So it's just an overreactivity. It's a bit of an emotional reactivity. That's the way. So they're not negative things. They are just personality tendencies that mean that we're a little bit more vulnerable to stress and anxiety and depression.